Change, but it never came, baby. Wait, I think that I've seen your face somewhere all over the place. Standing there preaching.
Hi, thanks for tuning into Everything Sparkle. Today we have musicians, masons, comedians, all kinds of things going on. A very eclectic crowd today. Brandon.
Yep.
Okay, let's listen to what you have. You brought us some music that...
Well, yeah. I guess what you could say is I'm like doing the Avon Girl thing. I have samples for us today.
Oh, so, boy.
if that works.
For our ears. Samples for our ears.
Yes,
right?
ear
Okay.
samples.
Ear samples.
Yeah, that
Nice. Let's listen to it.
So, we're going to play a piece of it first?
We're going to play a piece of it first.
To save the day, games and prizes, oh the glee, fun for you and fun for me. Party hero sails the seas, treasure hunts, fantastic dreams. Raise your flag with map in tow, there's joy in the journey, come on, let's go. Come on, suit up, it's time for Party Hero. Come on, let's go, it's fun with Party Hero. Come on, jump up, blast with Party Hero. Come on and go. Party Hero stands for right, guards peace and justice as we take flight. Show the planets who you're meant to be, a superstar in the galaxy. Come on, suit up, it's time for Party Hero. Come on, let's go, it's fun with Party Hero. Come on, jump up, blast with Party Hero. Come on and go. Come on, suit up, it's time for Party Hero. Come on, let's go, it's fun with Party Hero. Come on, jump up, blast with Party Hero. Come on and go.
Brandon, you seem like a lot of fun. That looks like fun. Explain this.
Okay, so I did not realize that was going to happen, so I'm kind of glad it did, though, because what this is I started a business a few years ago called Party Hero. Mm-hmm. There it is right there. And
yeah.
The gist of it was I dressed up as superheroes and pirates and went to birthday parties, family functions, community events, like, parades and, anything theater related, really. And so it was what you probably would expect, pictures, fun games, singing happy birthday.
Right.
And it was great. I mean, I've been doing this kind of thing on and off for about 10 years. And so I started with other companies because about 10 years ago, it really wasn't that common.
That's what I'm going to say. I haven't really heard about this.
It really isn't. It's much more of a Southern California thing. And that's where I got involved with it because I was seeing somebody at the time, and she and her mom got started on their own, and then suddenly, it just kind of inspired so many different people.
Well, yeah, when I lived down south, we had the princess-themed parties. I saw a lot of that. So this is kind of like the boy version of that?
Yeah, that's basically
awesome.
what I did. And so, like I said, I mean, I would get myself involved with other people's businesses. Usually it was like they majored in the princesses.
Nice.
And so they said, Brandon, what's your dress size? No, not really. But they did say, if we wanted to have, a prince, or what sold me what was really big at the time was Pirates of the Caribbean. So they said if we wanted, a pirate, and I was like, I'm sold. I'm in. Let's do it. And so that's how I got started. And then eventually I came up with my own concept, which you just saw a glimpse of. And so for me, one of the distinguishing marks, if that's correct grammar, that I wanted to make for myself was my own theme song. And so Party Hero like, okay, what's going to put that in somebody's head? Come on, get up, it's time for Party Hero. And so that's what I came up with that. I sound better on the song.
You're like Charlie Sheen from 2.5 Men. You do the little jingles. I love it.
It is. It's one of my blessings and curses, I guess, at the same time. But and so part of that along the way was I started thinking, okay, you know, this is really great. I get to come in, I have fun, I make memories, but you know, you do it for a while. You kind of like, I want a little bit more substance here. I want to add something that's going to mean more than just ice cream and cake. And so I've been trying to think of ways that I can impart more of like, what does it mean to be a superhero? Mm-hmm. What does it mean to actually like go for the challenges in life, to actually go for your dreams, your goals? What does it mean to stand up to the bully? You know, what does that look like? And
what does it look like?
Well, I think honestly, a lot of it has to do with, and like for myself, I'm a Christian, and so a lot of my faith comes from where I feel God is leading me in His Word, mm-hmm. and a lot of that has to do with like who I am in Christ. Now that's my own personal journey, but for the sake of trying to make this for a mass crowd, I think it's honestly like, you know, the common themes about, you know, standing up for your friends. Who are the most important people in your life, and why is that?
Correct, yeah.
You know, do they motivate you to be the very best version of yourself? Are those the kind of people that are worth having around? And if so, like, what does that inspire you to do? Like, do you want to, like, or do you settle for just getting up in the morning, going to school, going to work, and, you know, just, you know, okay, that's life? Or do you want to be better than that? Do you want to go for something that's greater than yourself?
So you're entertaining and giving a message at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm striving
to do. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do with this show, so you try to do it with children. So
yeah, it's we're in good company. So actually, yeah, what I started to do is I started creating my own songs to kind of go along with this. Because what I'd like to do, this is still in the planning stage.
Okay.
But basically what you just saw on the video was the superhero version of what I want to do for like a super school. I would like to franchise this so that there actually is something that parents can bring their kids for a couple of hours. We could do some friendly competitive games. And I'd like to instill some sort of a message. And if I can do that with music, great. If I can do that with just talking things out and like, you know, who here has done this before?
So like an after-school program with
superhero.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, so that's the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal that I have. As far as the music goes, I mean, until I can get that off the ground, I currently have a 5-song EP available, and it's on multiple music outlets. I mean, you know, Amazon. I think it's on Pandora. There's like 30 different outlets, so it is available on Spotify. It's on YouTube, but my main distributor is CD Baby. They're the ones that actually distribute it and actually collect all the royalties. So what I've been directing people to is, and I sent you a picture that has my profile,
right.
My artist profile page.
Yes.
So there, if you go to store.cdbaby.com, there's my Facebook page. So if you go on Facebook, it's Party Hero HQ, like Party Hero headquarters. Mm-hmm. And so. And now that page is my that's my artist profile page on.
And Brandon, so you're also doing music, and aren't you looking into doing music for film as well, or just this is just music for? I've heard that's the rumor circulating. Is
that what it is? That's interesting. Well, what's really funny is because some of the music that I have available right now, it's also been inspired by some original shows that I've been in.
Okay.
And so, funny enough, like, music-wise, like, my dream is to have full albums, like, superhero-themed, pirate, space adventure, and Christmas.
Okay.
I'm not anywhere near that yet. But, I mean, obviously, so that's why I'd like people to go check out my music.
I heard your Christmas song.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I listened to it on the way here.
Oh. Well, there you go. Who says Christmas is only in December? So
no, I was listening to it's good. I love Christmas music, so I think that's.
Thank you for saying so. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one. So, but kind of getting back to your point though about it's not film yet, but I've been in a few original plays that were written and directed by Heather Sconce.
Oh, awesome.
And so one of them was a pirate-themed one called Beauty and the Buccaneer.
I love it.
And so that, conveniently enough, it was, as you could probably guess, it was based off of Beauty and the Beast with a nautical pirate theme attached to it. And so I loved the experience. It was one in a million. And that ended up becoming my first inspiration for a pirate-themed song, which is actually a love song. It's actually a love duet. So that was the first duet I wrote, and I would love to do a music video of it, but until I get that taken care of, what I have done is my friend Gracie Robinson actually partnered with me to choreograph a dance to the song. And so what's currently on YouTube is, if you look up Beauty and the Buccaneer dance, you'll see some rough footage of us going through the dance to this Beauty and the Buccaneer song. So, and we do have a minute of it if you want to go ahead.
I want to see it.
All right, let's see it.
Captured in a catalyst, an inverse pair on a mutual quest, a rescue, a fight, a conversation. Now the two face new revelation.
A tender spirit, a praying heart. It took a light to break into the dark. A changing mind, a hand to hold. Now is he man enough to let her go?
What if she doesn't remember him?
What if he never sees her again?
Two hearts saying goodbye, only when beauty won the Buccaneer. Only when beauty won the Buccaneer. The winds will blow and the rains will pour. If love is
Nice.
Yeah, so that song is inspired by the play that I was in by Heather Sconce, Beauty and the Buccaneer. There's another song I have available called Stories That We Choose, which was based on a fairy tale mystery play that she did a couple of years ago. And so Gracie, who you saw me dancing with, she is one of the singers on that, as well as a couple other people that played characters. So there's four of us all together. The one who played Rapunzel, Hansel from Hansel and Gretel, and Gracie had played the oldest child of the Mother Shoe children. There was a woman who had it.
Oh,
somebody
yeah,
chose
I
to know
love
what to do.
That's one of my
And then
favorites.
Prince Charming, which was myself.
Nice.
So,
Oh, wow.
So.
Well, this is so great. And are you ever looking into doing animations with this?
like the music video specifically, or just
Well,
or
being a
cartoons?
backdrop for animations, like
Comics?
your music. Yeah, because I feel like I'm seeing a lot of, I can visualize it.
That's all. At this point, I'm open to possibilities. So that is definitely. I mean, I love to draw. I love to illustrate. I came up with the concept art, and I actually drew the ones that you can see on the internet right now. The Party Hero album cover with the little superhero
yeah.
guy. So
There we go,
Yeah,
that's it.
there's the Christmas one right there. So that's First Noel, and so the 5-song EP is the blue one. It's got it says Super Songs EP. So it's got the Party Hero theme song. It's got songs called BLAM, which is an acronym for Believe, Learn, Apply, and Master.
Nice.
And
That's
actually,
really good.
at the school that I'm teaching at right now, I collaborated with our music director, and one of his courses, it was a bunch of 3rd and 4th graders, they actually got up and did my song Blam.
Wow.
I would love to show you the footage, but alas, it kind of fell through, unfortunately.
Where do you teach at?
I'm currently an adjunct teacher for Mountain Home Charter,
Nice.
so the Resource Center. So it's actually up in Oakhurst, but they have the Resource Center here in Fresno. And so, yeah, I just got through my first year doing that. And so next year I'm going to be building on that and seeing what I can do with that program. I actually would like to take the concept, the Party Hero concept of superhero training, and use that as kind of like PE credit. So I'm trying to see if I can make my own concoction with that. I mean, that's the thrill of working there, is you get to be a little creative.
That's
so
nice.
We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, my music is definitely available for anybody. I mean, if it's 5 songs for less than $5 on CD Baby, I'd say it's a pretty good deal.
Right.
So,
What about your party? So it's approaching summertime. How much does it cost to book you?
Well, to do what I've been doing, it's roughly about like 95 to 150, depending on how long you want me. If you just want me to come in and have fun and do games, the usual.
In costume, though.
In costume. Oh, absolutely.
That's included? Okay.
Yeah. I could definitely come in costume. I actually have not had a chance to don this yet, but I had a custom-made party hero outfit of the little superhero guy that's down there. So I would love to actually display that. But until then, I do have more recognizable outfits. So
Nice. Well,
so just ask.
Thank you so much, Brandon, for coming on our show. It's such a delight to me. You're really
Thank
fun. I
you.
love your energy.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, Sparkle.
Thank you.
Somewhere all over the place, standing there preaching you would change, but you never did, baby. You were never there, darling.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Everything Sparkle. With me is comedian Lonnie Pelley, and he's a good friend of mine that cracks me up all the time.
How's it going there, Sparkle?
How are you? Oh, is it? This
I'm
is what I do?
feeling good, yeah.
I'm going to imitate you imitating me.
That's funny.
Oh, my God. You're funny. So tell us what the funny man has been up to, Mr. Movie Star.
Oh, man, we just finished up Jack Incarnate.
And that's a scary movie, and you're funny. Explain to me how the funny man gets in scary movies.
Well, actually, I think it goes way back. I want to say this is going to be my third year coming up when I met Michael S. Rodriguez.
Nice.
I met him at the Weekend Blender. And
3 years ago?
yeah.
Wow.
And the first scary movie they brought out, Terror at Station 13, I believe him and Tina were talking about they needed a comedian for the character in the movie, which is a cook of the spaceship.
Nice.
And so, and I think they have the clip of the outtake on there.
Oh, my. Brace yourself, everyone.
I don't see anything groundbreaking about a rotten plant. Chuck it, Winger.
Absolutely not. It's like what Welsh said. What if this is the cure for third world planets?
Think about it, gentlemen. Think about the possibilities we have here. We could save countless lives.
Look, I don't want this thing nowhere near my kitchen. It could be contaminated.
You are contaminated.
He's right. I can't handle space herpes at my age.
Oh, shut up, Trucks. I'm dead serious.
Oh my God! It all fell apart when you get the Gene Simmons tongue.
I saw him lean in, he goes,
Oh yeah, we planned that. I didn't realize. I don't look at Rogers.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Mike.
I don't look at him.
Mike, we planned to get you with
Yeah.
that. Oh, really? Oh my God! I'm like, what is he doing, dude?
Yeah, we planned to get you with that. I totally forgot about it. So I was like fucking laughing.
I'm like, what is he doing? I'm like, that's me, dude. He was
So I didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't want to tell you. We just wanted to do it. And
So you guys just be a bunch of goofballs all the time. I love it. That looks like so much fun.
The
That's
crazy
behind the
thing
scenes.
about it, the guy that played the scientist, Tyler Gallant from Los Angeles, he actually said, I think it'd be so cool if you, during the word contamination, you start licking the spoon. And that's how we got the secret about the spoon. You know, that's the big...
So was that some improv too? I know that was a behind the scenes footage, but do you guys
Yeah.
improv as well?
Yeah, the funny thing was when he told me to do it, I was nervous because I thought Michael was going to get mad at me.
And you just went for it.
But I waited such a long period of time that they actually all forgot about what we were going to do. And so when I did it, they're still trying to be serious, and here I am licking this spoon. And,
So everyone just lost it and
just
started
lost
laughing.
it, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Broke character there.
And as you guys know, we had Michael S. Rodriguez on our show last
Yes,
week.
yes.
We're still doing the GoFundMe that we'll plug at some point on here because he still hasn't reached his goal. It's almost there. So again, everyone needs to donate to his family. He's an amazing man. And we had an amazing film
festival.
festival this last weekend. Our film blog, my film was in there.
Yes.
His films were in there.
Jackie's were in it.
Yeah, and then Aaron Albright's films were in there, and it was a really great event.
Yeah, and I guess the two, well, I was in Jack Incarnate, but the other one, Reformation, it's going to be an anthology
he was
sequel
saying
to Last American Horror Show. So you can actually catch Terror at Station 13 in there as well. And I'm not sure when it's coming, but look out for Last American Horror Show Volume 2.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. It was a very fun, very frightening film festival. I invited a lot of my family, and they aren't really into horror movies, so they were just terrified.
Yeah. So if they saw the homeless guy jump out behind the garbage can, that was like the funniest scene in the movie.
I know. I was gonna be like, was like, oh, what's happening? I'm like, nobody dies. Everybody's in the audience that you see getting murdered in here. They're all in there. I died like a couple times in my movie, so it's all good fun. So when you're like a comedian, how do you make jokes without offending people?
You know what? I found out that even being in the role as a Christian comedian, clean comedian, you'll offend people.
Right. I mean, it's inevitable.
Yeah, and so you try to go in there just saying, okay, just let's have a good show, and there's always somebody that's gonna. One of my jokes, I haven't used it in a long time, but it was called The Cat of Nine Tails, the Rednecks version. See, Jesus, in a serious note, got whipped with the cat of nine tails, but with my comical mind, I'm thinking, what would have made this more smoother if he would have got whipped with a Rednecks version of a cat of nine tails, which is actually a cat on a stick with nine tails. Oh, okay. So I had emceed a Catholic charity show, and one guy at the end of the show said he was offended by that because I was cat scanning with a real cat. Well, it was a stuffed cat, but I shouldn't say a real cat. Sorry, folks.
See, there we go to offending people again.
Right.
Pete is after us.
So yeah, it's crazy out there. So being even a clean comedian, people get offended. So.
Yeah. Well, we had a great time at our film festival, and also what premiered the same week was the 205th film. Oh, wow. Are you familiar with that one as well? Because that also premiered.
205th film. No.
Okay, so that was actually premiered at the same time. Like our premiere was going on last week, and they had some actresses from Los Angeles. One of them used to work for me when I owned a shot girl business in LA. Oh, wow. One of the actresses in that film, and they came all the way down. I guess there was some problems like on the 99 on their way to here, and then I had one of my best friend was Emily Shepard. Hey, if you're watching, Emily came out to see our movie premiere.
Awesome.
Too. So we had a lot of support for them, and Aaron Albright. A lot of people did not come to his the main actors didn't come, and they're in Fresno. And I texted every single one and said, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" And now I am the social outcast of town because I'm like, you need to be here and support your local movie. And they're like, oh, I'm at my sister's birthday party. I'm at this and that. I have stuff to do, and I agree. But we're trying to bring LA here. We're trying to bring big people, big names here, so we need to support a local. My friend from LA, she's like, well, if you guys aren't supporting your own movies, if you don't get support from your local town, who's going to come support you? You got to have your local cast in your movies. So you guys, please support your movies. Please support us, and thank you guys for having supported us, who supports us. Yeah. Lonnie, if I want to book you to just come to a party and do clean comedy.
Yeah, I'd do it, man.
So anybody can. Do you have prices?
We got a little clip too as well.
Do you have prices for your bookings?
I got prices. Yeah, if it's a birthday party, I always bring the birthday person a present. Matter of fact, I remember doing a birthday party for this gal one time, right? Okay. And I was getting ready to ask her, how old are you? But I got to thinking way back in my mind. Way back in my mind, my mama said, now, Lonnie, you never want to ask a woman their age. So I looked at her and I said, how much do you weigh?
Oh my God. You are so bad, Lonnie. One day I swear.
Did you like to see our little clip real quick, or we got?
I'm a little scared. I'm going to be honest, but I guess me. We'll play it. My eyes are closed. No,
performing in Delray, California.
Okay, I'll watch it.
In a little church.
I'll be serious now. Eyes are
Okay.
open.
Like, ladies, why is it that when you put your mascara on, you open your mouth? I just wonder why. Oh, man. Or for all my Latino and Latina friends, why is it in the mariachi band, the little short dude's got that big guitar? And the tall guy's got like a ukulele? Oh man, that's where I come from. Well, I'm originally from my mama, but I was born and raised here in Fresno. And I actually live in Kermit, California, and until 2 o'clock in the morning, that's all I can hear. Yeah, the Mexicans know how to party, right, honey? Yeah, man. I try not to put my wife in the show. She's going to kill me later. It's all right. Oh, man. And then, oh, man, why is it that you're getting ready to pay for your meal at a restaurant, and they say, here's your check?
Yeah.
I say, check nothing, that's a bill. Matter of fact, lady, last time I saw a check, it said, pay to the order of Lonnie Pelley. Don't give me that check. That's a bill, $28.50. I think you owe me. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so I'm known as Central Valley's cleanest comedian.
Oh my gosh! Well,
It's funny on video. So.
It's not. You're funny. You just make me laugh all the time.
Oh, thank you. Try.
Oh my gosh! I'm glad I wore my Depends today. Okay, guys. The inside joke on that is that I have a lot of jobs. And I'm always working, and me and Jeff Meacham were talking about this. I said, I'm working. I barely have time to go to the bathroom. And he goes, oh my gosh, Sparkle, don't tell me you're going to start wearing Depends. And I said, that's a great idea. So it was actually Jeff Meacham's idea. I'm considering it. You could actually, we should market it. Like, Depends for just people on the go.
Yeah, like you know the difference between the guy's diaper and the girl's diaper. Depends.
That was on the fly. I like that, Lonnie. We gotta start like a duo on this one. I mean.
Oh man.
Now I should have worn my Depends. So I was just kidding.
I want to give a shout out to my road dog. He's here today, Larry. That's my.
I love your friend.
Yeah, Larry.
What about her?
That's Angelica, his wife.
Oh my gosh, they are fun. Everybody needs.
Well, I'm missing my wife. She's in Texas visiting relatives. Otherwise, we're the wolf pack.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I met my #1 fan at the premiere. It was a little creepy and odd because I've been communicating with this guy for like a long time, and then all of a sudden he's like, Sparkle, it's so nice to meet you. And I'm like, nice to meet you too. I just did a scary movie, but I'm really scared right now. Like, but he watches the show every time. So hi, #1 fan. I'm not going to address you because then, that'd be mean. But
if Maria's watching, I love you, honey. We're missing you over here.
I want to say that everyone did a good job. I want to put out names. Anthony Pisano did a great job at our film festival.
Anthony.
Michael S. Rodriguez, who we are the GoFundMe page, and Aaron Albright, who everybody loved, and my team loved his movie the best because it wasn't scary and horrific, and people there were. Yeah, blood and guts. Not necessarily. So everyone really loved it, and he was on the show before, and I just see so much potential of like us going to the next level with him in the valley. So
I just had a certain urge for some French fries.
Oh God, he's joking about my movie because there was a scene with the French fries. Oh my gosh.
One.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm hungry. I want French fries, but.
Two, three.
But yes, everybody with Vox Mortem was very, very good. Dark Planet, they're amazing. So I just want to say I see big things for everybody that was there supporting movies. And I apologize if I came across as offensive for telling everyone they should have been at their movie premiere and they were like the star of their.
Don't forget Lake of Shadows.
Of course, everything Michael S. Rodriguez does is amazing.
Lake of Shadows, Legend of Avocado Lake, coming soon. Hashtag Fear the Lake.
Fear the Lake. Thank you so much for coming on, Lonnie.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. Fun.
Welcome back. Those of you who have followed me since the beginning know my very first episode, I had a Mason on my show. And there was such a demand and so many questions left unanswered that we brought back another one. Adan Bautista, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, so basically what everyone still wants to know is what is the definition of a Mason?
A Mason is a guy that dedicates a lot of time to self-perfect himself, in theory at least.
Okay, so we're all like to better ourselves.
Exactly.
Self-help. So that would be like in the line of like if you're a man, become a Mason.
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea of Masonry is just like your previous guest here, Brandon, like he was talking something very interesting that caught my eye. That through his music, for example, and his art, he's trying to do something good, something positive, in this case with his music and that Christianity and so on. So Masons dedicate their whatever talents they might have, or if you don't have a precise talent, but at least that time and the energy, you utilize that time to dedicate to the community, or to yourself in order to just be a better person and ideally leave this world better than how you found it.
I love that definition. Now I finally understand what a Mason is. Okay, it's sad that we can only do it for a man.
Well, no, women can do that too. And there's lodges that are for women.
There's an Armenian female lodge, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can say a female lodge is just not a female Masonic lodge. I mean, if you're talking locally, I know there's the Daughters of Vartan, and they have their counterpart, which is the Sons of Vartan. And some of the members of my lodge and other Masonic lodges are part of this, and obviously it's a group exclusive for Armenians. But yeah, there's Masonic lodges for women. Not that I know here locally, but like in Santa Cruz and other parts of California and actually all over the world. But yes, there's lodges for women. It's just the lodge that I belong to, our tradition is or has always been that it's exclusively for men, but it doesn't mean that there's no women Masons.
Well, it's the oldest fraternity, so it's pretty much known.
Yeah, and pretty much from the very beginning there has been women Masons. So it's not something unheard of or unusual. In fact, if you go to other countries like in Latin America, Mexico, and Europe, sometimes these lodges, we call them irregular because they don't belong to the mainstream Masonry.
Okay.
There are so many of them that in fact they become more like the regular lodges in some sense because there's so many more of them than our mainstream Masonry. So yeah, there's plenty of women Masons, and in the past I have had the opportunity to meet some of them, and they know a lot about Masonry. In fact, sometimes I'm jealous of how much they know about Masonry compared to other guys, let's say in my lodge or other lodges that I know around, that they really go deep into the esoteric stuff, into the knowledge of Masonry. They really know their Masonry.
There's qualifications to get into it since it is like a fraternity. You have initiations and stuff. What do you have to do to qualify? Like, what would someone have to do to qualify? And then also, what would you do to be like, no, you're just not Mason material?
Well, to qualify is actually not that hard. You have to be in essence, a good person. You have to, well, you cannot have a criminal record and basically have an interest in Masonry. So you have to attend regularly. In the case of my lodge, every lodge has certain independence. So in my lodge, Fresno Lodge, we like to have guys attend regularly for about 3 or 4 months to be known by the members of the lodge to a point in which we become friends. So once we have this basic level of friendship, then this man who's interested in joining the lodge, if it's something that he wants to pursue, then he can request an application. He has to submit, and it's about $350 for the initial fees.
Okay.
And once he submits the application has to be signed by 2 members of the lodge. So that's why he needs to have a certain basic level of friendship with some of the members of the lodge that are going to sponsor him.
Got to get that cosigner. What do they do? Like take you out for a beer, wine, and dine you? Hey, be my cosigner to Masonry.
That would be a good idea, actually. Maybe bring a comedian, a musician, you know? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just looking at the guys present here tonight, it's like, oh, these guys will be great members of the lodge.
Oh, they even have you in laughs, that's
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, we like to have men from all walks of life.
A variety.
Initially, Masonry was something more elitist and was composed mostly of people that belong to royalty. And of course, we always like to brag. If you read books about Masonry, you know, we had George Washington being a Mason, Paul Revere, and many other personalities, even of the arts, you know, like John Wayne, and so on. So yeah, we like to obviously have people that are famous, but in reality, every man is important. So having men from all walks of life is good for a lodge, because then you have a variety of people that it's, you know, it helps to network with them.
So you've never seen anyone not be able to become a Mason before since you've been there?
Well, so just to continue with the part of how you join Masonry.
I'm sorry, I like the controversial stuff.
Well, yes, you submit an application, and the application is sent in part to Grand Lodge of California, which they do a background check. When the background check comes back and there's no issues with it.
Oh, so you've seen people fail the background check?
Very rarely, but yes, yeah. We actually try to get to that before they get to that point. So that's why it's important to attend the lodge regularly, and for us to get to meet the person and the person to meet us, so we both like each other and see if it's something that they want to pursue. Because every time that you add a person to the lodge, just like any job, anywhere else you go, you change a little bit of the personality of the lodge by bringing on this person. So you want to make sure that it's the right fit. So sometimes you might bring guys that are, let's say my lodge likes to be inclined towards the esoteric stuff, but there might be other lodges that are more towards the family aspect of things. So if it's a man that has a whole bunch of kids, he wants to look for a lodge where there's other men with a whole bunch of kids and their families and so on, then we will say to him, you know, why don't you go to this other lodge? It might be a better fit for you. But yes, there has been times, very rarely, I haven't actually seen it myself, in which once the application comes back and there's 3 people go to interview this man at his house. If the wife says no, then that's it. So guys, if you're gonna join the lodge, you better talk to your wife first, because it cannot be, we have some secrets, but it cannot be a secret to your wife. So definitely check with her first. But assuming that the wife says, okay, it's okay, you can join, then we have to submit this person to a vote. So it has to be a unanimous vote. So if anybody in the lodge drops a black ball, then you're black ball.
Wow, everybody has to be in agreement. Besides
Exactly,
the 2 co-signers, you need everyone to. Okay, that's interesting.
So that's why it's important that these guys get to be known by the lodge.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the process. I never seen it, like I say, myself, but occasionally it could happen. Sometimes maybe a member of the lodge hasn't attended the lodge for a period of time, and then the one night he shows up, and then they drop John Smith's name in there, and he knows that there were some issues in the past, he took some money from him, so he's just, oh no, this guy is not a good element. So it could happen.
So
but I
can
never
you
seen
get
it.
kicked out then?
Yes, you can get kicked out of the lodge too.
What do you have to do to get kicked out? Just if a lot of people don't like you, or
No, basically you have to commit a crime, and be convicted of committing a crime.
so if you're not in the conviction phase, as you might have killed
No.
somebody, you're okay until you're like convicted
Exactly.
of it.
There's other things that in our degrees, you promise that you won't do, and one of the things that you promise you won't do is that you're not gonna be flirting with the one of the brother's wives, something like that, or if you borrow money from a brother, you're not gonna not pay him. But it will have to be something really extreme. Usually there's, and it's not that it doesn't happen. It happens, and it happens every year. Maybe a few people, because you get to know every year. You get to know maybe there might be 2-3 guys in the whole state of California that might get kicked out. But it's very rare.
Wow. So that it really doesn't happen. Once you're in, you're kind of in for life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great organization to belong to. You get to meet great guys. You become good friends, and as we said, otherwise you will be kept at a perpetual distance from this man if it wasn't because of Masonry.
Well, what perks do you get? Because when I joined the Chamber of Commerce for Fresno Chamber of Commerce, I was promised a lot of perks that, I mean, the best thing I got was like a discount at Office Depot. Where do you go to get like perks? I'm sorry, but I was promised a lot of things, and the woman that signed me up isn't even working there anymore. And then it's like, there's no one for me to talk to and ask what all these perks I was promised to get. But anyways, enough about that. What do you guys offer? Like when people say, hey, I'm a Mason, where do you go and you say that? And it's like, oh, okay, well now you get a discount here, or now you're allowed in this club, or you're allowed in this event because you're a Mason?
Well, that reminds me of that character of the Simpsons. I don't know if you ever watched that episode of The Simpsons in which Homer Simpson becomes a Mason. Never seen it, probably.
I haven't seen that. I want to see that. That's
Look for
awesome.
it. Yeah, he's in his basement. One of the pipe breaks, and his basement is flooded. And a couple of the plumbers come in or something like that, and they, oh no, we can't do this, too much work or whatever. And then this guy comes in who's a Mason, and they go this funny handshake, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll fix it for you. He fixes it. He doesn't charge him.
Wow.
Yeah, well, the perks are basically that you get to meet guys that have like interests. Their backgrounds might be totally different, but they might have same interests. Now, me personally, on my experience, because I have gone through the different offices or chairs of the lodge, I have had the opportunity to travel some with some expenses paid by the lodge. So the perk is not that I get my expenses paid by the lodge because I'm not sent on my vacation, but I am sent on some training, and this training you learn things about a little bit of how to manage the lodge, a little bit of finance, investments.
So you get like a
human
knowledge.
resources. Yeah, that's me personally when you do that. Yeah, so that's one of the things.
But you can't go to a bed and breakfast or like Percos and be like, hey, I'm a Mason. Do I get like 50% off? There's none of that.
No, they probably, you're a what? Yeah, no. It would be nice, but no. I haven't seen it. I haven't experienced it yet. Yes.
So I'm doing my Mason for Dummies. I'm just asking questions that dummies about Masons might ask.
That's the best book. Actually, that's what we recommend when we.
I really like this.
When we have guys, we're open at Fresno Lodge, which is my lodge. Mm-hmm. We have another lodge here in Fresno, which is Las Palmas Ponderosa, near Veterans Hospital. My lodge is on Shields Avenue, close to First and Shields.
And you let me go there. That was like such a highlight of my life.
Absolutely. So we recommend, so we meet every Tuesday night. We just have an open house for anybody that wants to come in and ask questions and have an opportunity to see what it is. So we recommend that people read this book, Freemasons for Dummies, because it has a whole bunch. It addresses all the conspiracy theories, all that devil worshipping that people accuse us of, and so many more things. So it's a book that I definitely recommend for anybody who has, if they don't even want to join, just an interest in knowing about it.
So when you have time to go to the bathroom and you don't have to wear Depends, this is your toilet reading.
Absolutely. Now, if you don't like it, you know what to do with it.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to lighten up the whole.
Yeah.
This is the funniest show we've ever had of Everything Sparkle. I love it. Okay, I have to read this because I was so excited about this. I have to read it. The Skull and Crossbones guys. Basically, do you want to give the synopsis of the Skull and Crossbones, or you want me to say that?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, it says, I'll just read it really quick. The skull and crossbones were adopted as an emblem of the Knights Templar between the Third and Fourth Crusade. According to a strange legend, a wicked Templar and Lord of Soojian broke his vows and fell in love with a beautiful Armenian noblewoman who died very young. The knight couldn't endure to be separated from her, so he exhumed her body and had intercourse with the corpse. He reburied her body and returned home, but a voice came to him in a dream and told him to come back in 9 months, and he would soon find a son. When he returned, he found only a skull and 2 cross-leg bones in a grave. The voice spoke to him again and told him to guard and keep them always, and he would be successful in all his undertakings. The knight prospered and defeated all his enemies, often by simply showing them the magical head. So the skull and crossbones, hot Armenian chick. Just so you all know, I was so excited about that, I just had to share it.
And a lot of people associate us with that particular organization. That there's been plenty of movies made, or maybe not plenty, but several movies made about Skull and Bones Society, which they say President Bush and other presidents have belonged to, and other personalities. But in reality, we don't have anything to do with that organization itself. We, in some of our degrees or rituals, we use it just because it's a representation, obviously, of mortality. And the whole idea on the skull and the bones is do something good with your life before you look like that. Yeah, because, there's right now you have the time, the energy, the life. Do something good with it, whatever it is, comedy, music, work in a hospital, work in a restaurant, be an actress, a model, whatever you do, just do it right, do it from your heart, and just do it before you end up in that stage, because that's the way we're all going, unfortunately. But do something good with your life.
Do they know your motto, by the way? I'm going to put you on blast right now about the 100 years it doesn't matter.
It's okay.
That's your motto. He always said whenever I have a bad day or whatever. By the way, I train him. That's why he has such a great body, because I'm a personal trainer by day. For those of you who don't know, he has a great body because of me. I ever have a bad day or I'm stressed out, which is never, so rarely. He's always like, in 100 years, it's not going to matter anyway. So what is the point of being a great Mason and doing all this higher knowledge and being this great person if it's not going to matter in 100 years?
Well, it's not going to matter in 100 years, but it matters now. So a part of, if you go to the website of the Grand Lodge California, freemason.org, you're going to see all the things that the Masons do currently, not just for Masons themselves, but in general for the community. And a lot of people are not informed of this. But for example, we have this charity that's called Masons for Myths. And so every year in 4 different regions in California, Masons donate money, so baseball mitts are donated for kids who don't have access to it.
That's great.
Yeah. There's another program called Raising a Reader, in which thousands of books have been donated to, I don't know how many schools, but the idea is that in a couple of years, each, or at least 1,000 classrooms in the state have enough books donated for kids that don't have access, the parents don't have enough money to buy books for them. So through our donations, books can be bought for these kids. They can take them home and then just own them.
I love that.
Literacy is a big part.
Also for hospitals, and it was saying in here that that's a big one for the Masons.
Well, one of the Masonry has, let's say, other branches like a tree. One of the appendant bodies, which is the Shriners. Some people have heard of the Shriner Hospitals. Shriner Hospitals, they raise money through different events, and also just like you see for St. Jude and so on in TV commercials. But yes, there's hospitals that are supported or managed by Masons. So yeah, definitely in 100 years from now, what I do right now, it might not matter, but right now we're trying to do things that matter for the people who are here now.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming on. We're going to have you on again to go through more.
There's so much more.
We'll do more serious stuff, too. It's all this potty humor. I blame Lonnie Pelley for everything bad that's happened today on the show.
Absolutely.
You guys want to come up and say bye with me? Come on. You can bring your friends. You want to bring your roll dog? Oh, come on. I want my homegirl to come on too. I know she's jealous. I know. I just want you guys to all say hi. We have fans that come to the show every now and then, so I just they just always sit down and you hear who laughs. I want you to see the faces of everyone who laughs.
Oh.
Like I said, tune in next week for Everything Sparkle. We have some kick-ass people. You're gonna see Safety Stacy. She's gonna bring all her weapons. So like pink batons that really turn into like weapons. And then we have the high glam girl. She's gonna show us some makeup. So we're gonna do some really cool things next weekend. Stay tuned.
Bye. Bye.
Bye this.
Some people say, and they say it a lot, that nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Want to take that back?
Yeah.
I think you should.
Good job. Okay, now go ahead, circle it. It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.